Coming in, ED officials are at the residence of Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren and have not managed to meet him so far. The team has left the residential area. No official word currently on Hemant Soren's current whereabouts. That's the piece of breaking news that's coming in when it comes to the entire corruption scandal surrounding Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren. Now, ED officials were at Soren's residence but did not manage to meet him. That is the piece of breaking news that we are getting. The team has now left the area. There is currently no official word on Hemant Soren's current whereabouts. That is what we are getting from the Enforcement Directorate, and the team has now left Hemant Soren's residence is what we are understanding. Remember, the JMM has also staged protests against the Enforcement Directorate when it comes to the entire corruption scandal surrounding the Jharkhand Chief Minister. Remember, if you look at this case particularly, the ED has already arrested 14 individuals, including a 2011 batch IS officer, Chavi Ranjan, who served as the Director of the State's Social Welfare Department and Deputy Commissioner of Ranchi. Now, the ED heat is on Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren. I'm joined by my colleague Arunima on the broadcast to get the latest. Arunima, what more details can you get for us?
So this was the 10th summon, and ED was, in the Shanti, one area of South Delhi where Hemant Soren has a private residence. After serving him the 10th summon, ED officials got to know that he had travelled from Ranchi to Delhi. This happened about 48 hours ago, and therefore the ED officials went to his Delhi residence to try and question him further. Now, the sequence of event, as we are told by sources, is that till late last night, Hemant Soren seemed to be at this particular address. But since this morning, his location has been untraceable. ED team which had gone there, they could not meet him. My colleague Anshul, who's there outside Hemant Soren's residence, reports that some officials from the ED team are still camping, but all the senior officers who were supposed to, carry forward the questioning, they have left, and they're still waiting to hear from Hemant Soren. He, in his response to the 10th summon, had said that he will eventually tell the ED about his availability. They wanted to question him before the end of this month. So between 29th to 31st is when they wanted to question him. They thought he would be available in Ranchi, but since they got to know that he had travelled to the national capital, their team in the national capital, made this move of going and speaking to him. But like we have been reporting, there is no official word yet as to where the Jharkhand Chief Minister currently is.
Arunima, unpack this PMLA case for our viewers, because the 10th summons has been issued and Hemant Soren continues to be evasive.
See, there are multiple charges against the Jharkhand Chief Minister. This particular case is about a land parcel in Ranchi. Charge has been made that this was, wrongly accrued, and the proceeds of the crime were laundered by the Jharkhand Chief Minister. There are allegations against him with relations to the coal scam as well. And the Enforcement Directorate has been repeatedly, sending in summons, 8 of which he ignored. In the 9th summon, he finally appeared. What the Enforcement Directorate has been trying to ascertain is if he is aware of the people who have been arrested, how they were hobnobbing with his close aides, and what is it that Hemant Soren, the Jharkhand Chief Minister himself, has to say in the manner in which this entire land deal was done. 7.5 hours of questioning that happened when he finally appeared at his residence in Jharkhand. We were told it was very amicable. That is how Enforcement Directorate defined it. But they wanted to ask him more questions. He was not available. 2 more summons later, ED is still hunting as to where the Chief Minister of Jharkhand is.
Absolutely. 10th summon and the Jharkhand Chief Minister continues to be evasive. What we are learning is that the ED team has now left the residential area, and my colleague Anshul is reporting from there. Anshul, over to you.
A team of Enforcement Directorate had reached over here at approximately 7 a.m. this morning, post that the driver of Hemant Soren was in fact brought over here from Jharkhand Bhavan, and he was also taken inside the residence. Now what we are being told that the Enforcement Directorate has not been able to meet with Hemant Soren at his residence out here in Shantiniketan, and yet the exact location of Jharkhand CM is something that is still not very clear. Neither it has been clarified by the CMO in Jharkhand itself or by the Enforcement Directorate at this point in time. When we spoke to the senior officials of Enforcement Directorate, they say that they would chalk out the details of the entire investigation in the next few hours. But yes, we are still waiting for an official confirmation, if at all any sort of questioning or any sort of contact has been made with the Jharkhand CM at this point in time. But yes, if you speak about his residence and the situation at his residence, yes, there are the driver of the Jharkhand CM is still very much inside his residence. It is still not very clear as to what is the last location of the Jharkhand Chief Minister, and that is something that the ED is also trying to trace at this this point in time. However, no official confirmation has come in either from the Enforcement Directorate or from the Jharkhand CMO, and hence we are waiting for that official confirmation to be made, if at all any sort of communication has been made from the side of Jharkhand CM, because remember, this is the 10th summon that has been served to him, and according to this 10th summon, he was in fact asked to appear before the investigating agency either on the 29th of January, that is today, or on the 1st of or on the 31st of 1st of January. These are the visuals that we are bringing to you yet again. Enforcement Directorate officials are yet again entering the residence of Jharkhand CM. These are the people who had entered over here. सर कोई कहीं से ट्रेस मिल पाया है झारखंड सीएम का, कहीं से ट्रेस मिल पाया है सर, कुछ पता लग पाया? ये बताया जा रहा है कि झारखंड सीएम अभी आपके कांटेक्ट में नहीं आए हैं सर, इसमें कुछ सच्चाई है सर? So yes, these are the visuals that we are bringing to you over here. The team of Enforcement Directorate has yet again reached the residence of Jharkhand CM out here in Shanti Niketan, and as I was mentioning, it is still not absolutely clear where is the Jharkhand CM at this point in time. It has still not been clarified either from the Chief Minister's office, if at all some sort of official communication has been made to the Enforcement Directorate, if at all he would appear before them on the 31st of January or today itself. This is something that is a big question mark at this point in time. One thing is confirmed, that he was very much in the national capital over the last 2 days. In fact, his charter flight through which he came, that flight is also still at the Delhi airport itself. So yes, there are a lot of speculations that are being made at this point in time, but if at all the Jharkhand CM is in contact with the Enforcement Directorate, if at all the Enforcement Directorate knows what is the location of Jharkhand CM, and if at all the CMO also knows what is the location of Jharkhand CM, that is something that remains to be seen. When we spoke to the officials of the record from the Jharkhand CMO office, they also told us unofficially that yes, they are not being able to trace where the CM is at this point in time. So yes, a lot of speculations are being made, but still it is still not clear where is the Jharkhand CM at this point in time, and if at all any sort of communication has been made by the to the Enforcement Directorate from the side of the CMO or from the side of the Secretariat of the Jharkhand Chief Minister.
Absolutely, that is the big question. Where is Hemant Soren, the ED's team? As you can see in those visuals, ladies and gentlemen, it's still inside the house conducting a search throughout the premises. Arunima, they have been there since 7 a.m. in the morning. Do we have any information of any recoveries that have been made pertaining to the case?
No, not really. This is not really a search operation that is being carried out. You know, what is the case that the Enforcement Directorate is essentially looking at? Whether the proceeds of the crime out of that land parcel, which was allegedly bought with ill-gotten money, whether when it was sold off, the money was laundered or not. So the proceeds of the crime, if at all, would most likely be in Ranchi, be in Jharkhand, and in that connection, searches have been carried out at various places in Jharkhand. Some people have been taken into custody here as well. When ED got to know that Hemant Soren had travelled from Ranchi to Delhi, and just to give you a backgrounder as to what happened when he was questioned the last time around, CRPF was requisitioned by the Enforcement Directorate because of their experience in Sandesh Khali, West Bengal, where some of their officials got injured, and CRPF's presence was completely politicized by the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. They alleged that a plane was waiting at the Ranchi airport, that there was plan that with CRPF's cover, ED would kidnap, quote unquote, kidnap Hemant Soren and forcibly take him away in that plane. So all kinds of what has been called wild allegations by the ED have been made by JAM. Therefore, ED was being cautious, and when they got to know that the Jharkhand Chief Minister had come to Delhi, they wanted to go and meet him and try and find out if he could take out time to answer their question. But from the look of it, the CM can't be traced. ED has no idea where he is. The team, however, is still, not letting go of its vigilance of his residence. That's what Anshul is also showing us. The pictures of some officers of ED and Delhi police also still present at the Soren residence, but the senior officials who would have, led the questioning, they're back at ED headquarters.
Right. Thank you, Arunima.